Nintendo supposedly is working on 2 Switch revisions, a Switch Pro and a Switch Mini. While the Pro is still up in the air, I think it's safe to say the Mini is definitely happening. Enough leaks, etc. And that's what we're going to talk about today in the pause menu. The Nintendo Switch Mini. We have difference of opinions on this.
This is stupid. Okay?
Go.
The Switch is mini already. I mean, why do you need to make a smaller version of it? I mean, the only other thing I can think of is price-wise. I mean, what? The Switch is still selling for $300, basically, right? Like, is the Mini going to sell for like $100? I feel like the Switch is already at a good price at $300. I mean, I'll give you that. And, why do I want the screen smaller? It's a small screen to begin with. I mean, it's pretty portable already. Why do I need a Mini? I mean, I don't need a Mini. But why would you want a Mini when you can have a regular Switch, much bigger screen, and Joy-Cons that supposedly, stay on, or you can take on and off and whatnot? Because I feel like the Mini has Joy-Cons that are attached to the Mini.
So all the rumors are basically it's a 6-inch screen, non-detachable Joy-Cons, supposedly a slightly larger battery because of that reason, and it will not ship with a dock, but it still will have dock capabilities. It's a TV. So I'm going to liken this to the 2DS. When the 2DS was announced, I was like, that's dumb. Like, why would anyone want it? But then I played it. That seems like a strange thing, but
a big thing between that was one had 3D and the other one didn't.
But the main thing with the 2DS
There's no difference between the Switches.
I can agree with that. Like, I think the differences are a little bit. They're in the same realm, but they're not exactly the same thing. But the idea of having multiple Switches in a household, I think, is becoming more common, especially with games like Pokemon coming out. And Animal Crossing, although Animal Crossing is a different story, is another time. But I think this makes a lot of sense to get more Switches in the house, as well as, because if I were to go out and buy another Switch right now, let's say that a girlfriend, whatever, wanted a Switch, we'd have 2 docks, we'd have all these Joy-Cons, there's nothing wrong with that, but if I could just go into a store and just be like, I just need another Switch, I don't need any more Joy-Cons, I don't need another dock, I just want another Switch, and I could get this one that's cheaper and just be like, okay, cool. For $200? Okay, I'd get that. And I will have to disagree. I don't think the Switch is that portable. The Switch is definitely portable, but it doesn't really fit in your pocket. It doesn't really... It's a very fragile device.
You buy a Nintendo Switch bag so you can put it on a stash and just carry it all around with you.
If they can make it physically thinner and smaller, I think that's a huge selling point in terms of... there needs to be more ways to protect the Switch other than just a case that you stick it in. I don't think that's a great design. If they can somehow design something to cover the screen and maybe cover the whole device this time, I think that would be better. So that, to me, that's who this is for. It's going to be for people that want a second Switch, but also maybe people that, again, the Switch is very fragile for a portable machine. That's where I think that the number one thing has happened. That's where I liken to the 2DS, because that thing was durable as hell. I mean, it was basically made as like a Fisher-Price toy. It was super plasticky and it was cheap feeling, but it worked. It got the job done.
Are you talking about the one that was literally just one brick and had the 2 screens on it? Because eventually they did make one that was flip. You know that?
That was the new 2DS XL.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So that was a little different, but
yeah, I think it looked funny.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but that thing was cool though, because it was a cheap entry point, and again, I think this is 100% for Pokemon. Pokemon's coming out, and I think this is specifically to get more Switches out for Pokemon.
I'm not a fan. You do not convince me. I mean, it's just, I don't understand it. I mean, I understand where you're coming from. I really do. For me, there's no reason for me to get a second Switch. I don't care. I don't need a second Switch. I have the Switch that I want. And, if it runs the same, I mean, I'm still going to pick this Switch. There's just no need for me to have this. And I understand that. And that's just me personally. But I'm trying to think of a consumer, definitely, who doesn't have a Switch, have a choice to get a Mini, or the regular Switch, I guess you can say. I feel like with the difference in hardware, or the big screen, that I can actually detach the Joy-Cons. Because again, maybe there will be some motion control games you think you won't be able to play.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, so it does limit you, which I do not want to be. I feel like Switch would be the way to go. Whether the Mini is, what's the cheapest the Mini could be? $200, you think?
Yeah, I will agree with you. If it's a $249 versus $299 thing, get the regular.
I mean,
I don't
feel
think
like
there's any.
$150 would be a reasonable price to me to pick something up like this. To think that this is a great idea now, you know.
I think $199 is what they should be shooting for. Like if it's a $50 difference, that's still just because you can still get the dock and then you still get the extra Joy-Con. Like there's enough in there that the $50 to me isn't a big enough thing. But they could even do like even $229, you know, something like that.
I just hate this idea too, just because I feel like Nintendo spent so much time on the specifics on the Joy-Con. I mean, seriously. And when you're going to the menu, you're stripping that away because they're just handheld controllers that are in the console itself.
Right, but at the same time, I think the Joy-Con was a...
Corey, you only need one Joy-Con to play as a controller. Again, like...
Yeah, like...
You know, that's the cool feature of the Switch.
Does anybody really do that?
It's the option that you can if you need to.
Right.
You're like, hey, I mean, I would love to... Don't you just enjoy bringing out your Switch portable, docking it somewhere? Hey, man, want to play some Mario Kart? Here's a Joy-Con. Staring at this...
Nobody does that.
Have you not seen the commercials?
Yeah.
Everybody does that.
But, I mean, you make a good point in that, like... They've really pushed that feature. Like they still do it in their commercials of people. Apparently, just everybody has rooftop parties and just bring out their Switch. Sorry, my roof isn't flat.
I'm not gonna lie. I play Smite a lot on my Switch, and I like that I can play it portably. Screen to my face. I've tried docking that, and just sitting far back and like, what is this?
Yeah,
it's so small.
But to me, like,
and you're gonna make it smaller.
To me, the Joy-Cons, I liken those to the 3D of the 3DS. Like it was something that they super pushed. But when it came time to like redesign the system, they were not afraid to strip it away and I feel the same way with the Joy-Cons. Like the Joy-Cons have a lot of tech in them. They've got HD Rumble, they've got all this wireless tech in them, but nothing really uses it.
No, nothing.
Like 1-2 switch. Like
motion controls are
right.
Dead,
like so the fact that nothing really uses it. It's the same thing with the 3D. Like every game, some games actually didn't even have 3D, which was nuts to me. But at the same time, like when you took the 3D away, it didn't really change the game. Like some games, like Super Mario 3D Land, that 3D really helped, like judging your platforms. And from what I hear, a Link Between Worlds, the 3D was very. It helped a lot in terms of.
Well, yeah. I mean, Yes, I mean, I'll give you that. From a top-down view game, when you add 3D to it, like it just makes the game look great.
It's like a platformer in VR. Like you can just judge things better.
It's cool.
But they weren't afraid to take that away, and that's what I feel with the Joy-Cons, being able to take those on and off. Like that has been such a core feature, but at the same time, like I think it's been a core feature because they wanted it to be, but nobody's realistically using it. So to me, it makes sense to just super glue them on. And be done with it.
Now, I mean, at least one more thing I want to mention. So, the mobility. Mm-hmm. I mean, yes, the Switch Mini would definitely be more of an easy console to lag around, to take where you want to go and whatnot. I mean, it'll probably be small enough where you can just simply put in your pocket, hopefully, and, just play on your go. Mm-hmm. But, and you made that comment where you feel like the Switch, off the dock is, I mean, still a little too big to move portably and whatnot. I mean,
like you can do it, but to me, it just
it won't fit in your pocket. You know, I agree with that. Or if it does, it looks like a big lump.
I've seen some people saying it still fits in your pocket, and it's like you got like a Siamese twin.
Now, but to me, honestly, with both consoles, I would not want to put either or in my pocket. I mean, if I'm definitely carrying it someplace, like I want it in a safe case, or somehow with on me like that.
I at least want something like where they do with like the iPad and the Surface and stuff of just like give me a piece of
latch over
of something, something that like magnetized or something to the front of it that where it just so that way it looks more pleasable versus like a like a zip. It's just I don't know. To me, the portability aspect of it is if you take it outside of your home, I've done it. It's always awkward. Like it's just I feel like I'm carrying around a purse. Like I got the Switch and like I recently went to Las Vegas and it was just like. I felt like people were looking at me.
See, I love playing it portable.
I love playing it portable in my home, but outside of my home, I don't do it. But all right. But let us know what you think about the Switch Mini in the comments below. What price point do you think it should launch at? Should it even launch? Obviously, we disagree. But let us know in the comments below. Hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps us out. And we'll see you next time.
Why would I want a slice of cheesecake when I can have the whole cake? Like
diabetes. That's why.